Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradeTolife.com, and in this video we are going to talk about acting as if it's not enough, why you should stop changing at the surface level only, because in my opinion acting as if and pretending and all of this stuff is really surface level based. And this is a huge topic, I would say, also in this whole choosing a reality consciously using imagination kind of realm, because you hear this often, right? You hear often the phrase, yeah, act as if, pretend, act as if you already have the money, act as if you already are in this relationship or are more healthy, whatever it may be. And the thing is, this is true to some degree, but like I figured out and Neville figured out, is that this is still only the surface level. So when you pretend as if you have a lot of money and you spend it, but you're still in this state, you're still in this identity, in this role, in this self-concept of actually being poor, not wealthy, or it's difficult to make more money, then this pretending will make you feel that you have maybe a lot of money in the short term because you spend it and you say, oh yeah, I have so much money, but then you will just fall back into this old state. And that is exactly why I would like to show you again this illustration. And I know I already showed this in another video, which is called Why Willpower Alone is not the, like willpower alone will not bring you from A to B. You can check this out. I will link this up here. And that is very important because many people also try with willpower and force and all this hard effort to change things in their lives. But when they don't change at the core, which is what I'm going to explain to you again in this video, nothing really will change in the long run. So let's look at this, right? So for those of you who don't know what this represents, I want to explain it to you. This graph is very powerful in my opinion. It's very true. So what we see here is we see those circles, and each circle represents a different level of like reality creation, manifesting. You can also check out this video. I made a video where I explained the whole process of how to shift your identity, how to manifest stuff. So check this out. I will link it here. It's a complete guide. It's a 2-video series. Highly recommend it. Now, what we see here is those circles, and each circle represents a different level. So on the outside level, obviously we have the results and the manifestations that we encounter, the circumstances, the people, the events, whatever it is that displays and reflects back to us our internal state, right? Because the outside, you have to understand, always does everything to match and reflect back our internal state. But that's just the simple, plain explanation, first of all, of that. And then we can go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And when we do that, we realize that the center, the core of all of that, right, is our state of consciousness. It's like the state that we are in. It's like the self-concept, the identity, the role, the answer to the question, who are you? That defines which role you play in this game of life, and that defines obviously what you do, what you think, the beliefs you have, the actions you take, all of this stuff, and obviously the results you get. So that is why we should focus on that instead of doing what the acting as if kind of people that tell you this say, because they are here, right? They say act as if, and then you are on this level, on this actions level. You act as if you're wealthy. You purchase expensive stuff, or you tell everyone that you are in a relationship, but they can clearly see that you're not. And you can do this, right? But when it brings up a lot of resistance, and when you don't really believe it, then what is this leading up to? This has no sense unless, again, you change this state where you actually know, where you actually are more wealthy. Okay, you change it this being level, not at this doing and having level. You change really deeply, right? That is what Neville discovered, and that is what you can do by imagining something that implies that you are already in this state. Because by you doing that, how Neville described it, you fuse with that state. So you can imagine, I love this explanation of those infinite rooms, right? You have this big house with infinite rooms, and each room represents a different state. So there's a state where you are actually more wealthy. There's a state where you're poor. There's a state where you're really have basic life. There's a state where you are loved, wanted. So all those states, they exist right now. But everything is within your consciousness. Everything is actually right here, right now. It only waits for the embodiment, for the occupation. So, but when you only look and accept as true as what your senses are telling you now, which is, okay, Maybe there's not the money that you want in your bank account. You don't have the relationship you want. You don't have the health you want, the friendships, the general lifestyle. Then this is what you reimagine again, and therefore what you occupy again and again, and therefore you stay there, right? You stay in that state, and therefore everything in your life basically remains nearly the same as it did before. But when you look beyond your senses, right? When you use your imagination consciously, which is what I'm also teaching my clients in my program, then you actually start to change your state. You start to occupy this new state, and therefore identify with this new role, with this new character, and therefore you actually shift into this state, whatever it is that you want, and therefore those things, like a rippling effect, like a wave, step by step change. So you first change the state, your thoughts will change, your perception will change, your decisions that you take automatically will change, the actions you do will change, and also obviously then the results that you get and the manifestations will change. So why focus on all of this stuff, right? Why focus on looking at what is there right now? Why looking at your actions? They are still coming from this state. Everything is like a byproduct. It's like just showing you in which state you are. And that is why your reactions to life are such a great indicator, because they just show you with which state you are identified, right? You don't have to observe your reality. You actually only have to observe your reactions to your life, because they show you in which state you are. So when you react really fearful, when I ask you, what is your money situation? How much money do you make? Are you happy with your money? Is money easy for you to make? And you see, oh shit, like this doesn't feel good. I don't make enough money. Then it's just an indicator that you are not really in a state of being really wealthy, and knowing that money comes easy to you, that you're always abundant with money, right? I know I always use this money example, but I think it's the easiest one to bring the point across. But again, this is for your relationships. This is for every life area that you want to see changes in. Okay, so my message for you would be, don't focus on acting as if. Because when you say, I act as if, it still tells me that you don't really see that this thing really already does exist, right? That the state actually is already true and there, that only you have to occupy it. So you have actually to call it acting because it is. That would be more right, because you don't act as if something would be true. Rather, you would act as, yeah, this is already true, but that this happens again when you change your state. And as you can also see, awesome in this illustration is that as within, so without. So those inner circles are the inner world, right? Your state, your thoughts, your perception. But then on the other side, what people can see, for example, is your decisions, the decisions that you take, what you do, the results you have. That is the outer world, right? Which always again is second, and first is the inner world. That is so important, and I know you hear this many times, but when you really start to become more conscious and more aware of this principle, right? This is this life principle. Right, I also have a very important video. I will link this above. It's called the one principle that is actually the most life-changing principle at all. So check this out. I will link it here. And that is what Neville actually taught. Neville did not taught any new stuff. He just interpreted the Bible in a different way. He just shared all of this wisdom, but he didn't invent anything new, basically. He just explained it in his very great, awesome way. But many people think that Neville has his own teachings, but actually not. He just interpreted and explained what was there even before Neville, which is great, right? And that is this life principle, as within, so without. And that is why, in my opinion, you don't actually need any guru or, I don't know, like people that tell you, yeah, you need to do this way and this that way, because that's not really true, because everything is already within you. Also, Neville discovered this, right? There's a quote where he said, awaken to the realization, to the understanding that everything that you want is already within you, right? Within your consciousness. It is available for you to occupy. So, yeah, that is why you should focus on your state, right? I made a free masterclass. You will find a link for this in the description down below, where I also explain why many people still are really distracted from all the stuff that's out there. And I know there is a lot of stuff out there, obviously. Great teachings, many people share it, it's awesome. But when you get distracted and then you focus on, oh, I have to flip my thoughts. Oh, I have to do this action. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to follow this specific type of action, or whatever it may be, then you are not really applying this principle in the right way, in my opinion. So you can stop focusing on that and actually focusing on the core, right? Shift into another state of consciousness. I cannot even stress this enough. Your state determines your life. That's basically it. And now I want to share a quote with you by Neville, which is awesome, which explains this also in a great way. So he said, the actor cannot pretend, right? That is what a lot of people do, pretending, oh yeah, pretend I'm already together. But the things, look, when you really shift into a new state, then you don't feel compelled, or you don't want to pretend, because then the state at some point becomes so natural to you, right? This is actually the thing that determines how fast you manifest. I made a video how to speed up your manifestation. You can also check this out. And that is the only thing that you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about pretending and doing all of this stuff, because just be in this state and then you will be led. The state basically is the only thing you have to worry about. Because again, when you think of rooms, right, really picture this in your mind, okay? You have an infinite house, and within a very infinite big house with infinite rooms. Each room represents a state. So you don't question, oh, how is it possible for me to go from A to B? No, you can occupy it instantly in your imagination and be in that state. And when you enter this new room, like Neville explained it, every plot, every drama, every actions you take and the results, they are already within this room. So you don't need to worry, oh, what is it that I need to do? Do I need to wait? Do I need to figure out the how and the when? No, that is not your job, right? So occupy this new state. Occupy this new identity. Okay, this is exactly what I teach in my program. If you want to learn more about this, then stay till the end of this video, where I will announce how you can enroll into that and speak with me personally. So let's look at the quote again. The actor cannot pretend. He must enter and become the part he has agreed to play. He cannot step upon the stage knowing he's a great actor who everyone recognizes. He must lose himself in the character by leaving his personality in the dressing room and entering the stage as the character he is to portray. Which, in simple words, just means that when you decide that you right now want to shift your lifestyle, your life area or something like that, then you cannot take with you this old state, this old identity, this old role, this old self-concept, right? There needs to be a real shift, a deep internal shift, because unless you do that, you will still fall back into the old role, you will still get the old results, you will still do the old actions, and nothing really is changing. And this is basically what Neville calls spiritual rebirth, because when you really shift into a new state, then what happens is you don't even remember the old state. It feels so strange to you, and because you have occupied this new set of belief and set of assumptions and the state so much that this is now your new home. Like, this is now normal for you. The same happened to a client of mine. We spoke last week in the weekly live Q&A call that I'm doing, and he said he can't even remember how it was before learning those teachings. Like, he feels such a new sense of life and self and in his self-concept that he now realized the power of this stuff. And to summarize that is that you first have to be in order to do, right? But when you do and pretend and act as if, but you're not being actually the thing that you want to be, then you will always fall back into the actually being that you are. So when you are poor, you pretend that you're rich, but your state is still, the inner state is still a lack of money, it's not abundant, all of this stuff, then you will just come back. It happens every time, it's painful, it's not a nice process, so you should focus on the state. Now, if you want to learn how to actually do this, you can apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with me personally, where I'm going to diagnose your situation, see if we're a good fit to work together. If yes, great. If no, you still spoke with me and we had an amazing call. So you can apply for that. The link is in the description down below. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I think this is a very important video. It's very powerful. Maybe rewatch it sometimes. And thank you very much for listening. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.